Okay, I'm going to be talking about cluttered rooms and the complications that they cause. Many of us, I'm sure, have heard the saying, well, you know, if your room was clean, you might be able to find it. I've heard that from my mom plenty of times. When I was younger, I used to think, why am I making up my bed if I'm just going to get in it later on anyway? Or why am I picking up my toys if I'm just going to pull them out after school? I couldn't wait to get older and do what I wanted to do with my room. And now that I am older and I have more responsibilities, I realize that keeping a clutter-free room is really important. And many people are finding it more and more difficult to keep their rooms clutter-free. On About.com, author Elizabeth Scott mentions a poll that shows over a third of readers avoid going home because of the overwhelming mess and don't know where to start to clean it up. Also, it says that less than 10% say their home is clutter-free. Does it really matter, though, if you clean up your room or not? The answer is yes. As you saw in the beginning of the video, this room is filled with clothes. There's clothes all over the floor. There's stuff on the bed, and you can barely even get into the room. It's just somewhere that you really would not go to relax or to get away from a stressful day. So, too much clutter makes life more complicated than it needs to be. First of all, it causes stress. Julia McCormick says in an article, clutter can distract you, weigh you down, and in general invites chaos into your life. It can also waste time and money. You end up wasting more time than you need to trying to find things rather than doing the things that you need to do. And you also end up buying more things than you need also because you can't find them. There are some simple steps that you can take to declutter. Here are two lists from two different authors. The first one is from Peter Walsh, and he says, tackle messes one room at a time. When you buy something new, practice the in-out rule, which means for every one item that you buy, get rid of the old one. Ask yourself if you really need something, and if you have to hesitate, then you don't. The second list is from Elizabeth Scott, and she says, going room by room, divide your things into 4 boxes. Things to donate, things to throw away, things to keep, and things to store. Go through the box of things to keep and find a place for everything. Finish one room before moving on to the next one so that it's not so overwhelming. So as you can see, if you have a lot of clutter, it's not the end of the world. And also, here's the after picture of the same picture that I showed you. And as you can see, it's a lot more spacious in the room, and it's a lot more relaxing. There's not stuff all over the floor. Things are organized, and there's nothing on the bed. It's just some place that you would look forward to coming to after a hard day of work. So try out some of these tips that I shared with you, and you'll be off to a good start. There's no sense in making life more complicated than it needs to be. Don't allow clutter to stress you out. And definitely don't let it waste your time and your money. Your home should be a place of relaxation, and it shouldn't add to the chaos in your life. So after all these years, I finally know what my mom is talking about. With that being said, now you know, if you didn't already, how important it is to declutter. It will eliminate stress and frustration and allow you to have more time and money to yourself. It should be a relief to come home. And it should be a stress reliever, and not a reminder of how out of control you've let things get. Make it a priority, if nothing else, to make sure clutter does not defeat you.